Located on 225 acres in Garden City, Long Island, Nassau Community College, a member of the State University of New York system, has close to 20,000 students attend the school each year. The college mascot is Leo the Lion, and these are his stories of the school's absolute best and brightest who have graduated over the past 50-plus years. Let's catch up together as the Alumni Association of Nassau Community College proudly presents Lion Tales, a Nassau Community College Foundation production on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
Welcome to Lion Tales, powered by the Nassau Community College Foundation. My name is Aurora Workman. I am president of the Nassau Community College Alumni Association. I'm here with my friend and co-host, Dr. Lynnda Nadien, a proud graduate of NCC, and together we'll share stories that will inspire, uplift, and often amuse you.
Each week, Aurora and I will introduce you to alumni of Nassau Community College interested in sharing their experience here at Nassau Community College, along with the secrets to their success.
Before we do anything else, we want to say congratulations to Nassau Community College alumni Carl Dehaney on his Legacy Award for Quality Contributions to the Long Island community, presented by the NAACP Islip Town branch. We look forward to hearing from him here on Lion Tales.
Look for many new and exciting events on the Alumni Association social media pages, Facebook, Instagram, and our web pages at www.ncc.edu/alumni. If you are our listening audience has any positive news you would like to share about Nassau Community College alumni, engagements, births, graduations, weddings, and or accolades, email us at alumni@ncc.edu and we will shout you out.
Today's guest is Desiree Pennica. Desiree Pennica, class of 2012, is a first-grade teacher at Smith Street Elementary School in Uniondale, New York. She received her master's in special education from Hofstra University and says she could not have done it without Nassau Community College. Welcome to Lion Tales, Desiree.
Hi. Thank you for having me.
Well, let's talk about your travels through your academic quest here. Your first decision was not Nassau. Tell us about it and why you decided to attend NCC.
My first decision was to go away for college. So I went to North Carolina, UNC Charlotte. I went there for a semester, and when I was in class, one of my professors actually told me, if you're thinking about teaching outside of the state, you might want to consider going now and getting your credits in that state that you want to teach in. So at that time, I decided to come home to Long Island, and I decided to attend Nassau. It was local to home, and I was able to get all of the credits that I needed in order to further my degree. So I transferred here after a semester, and I finished with my associates.
That's great.
Is education a career path that you always wanted to pursue?
Yes. Ever since I was a little girl, even during Christmas time, my parents would buy me an easel, and I have all my friends over, and I'd teach with my stuffed animals, or with my friends. We'd all pretend to be the teacher. One of us would be the student.
You're that girl.
Yeah, I always knew I wanted to be a teacher. Even when I was in classes, I would be helping my fellow students, my peers and my classmates, and I try to teach them the lesson that we were learning. So I always knew I wanted to be an educator. So when I went to college, I knew that was the path I was going to take from the beginning.
Oh, that's great. That's how I knew I was always going to be the teacher. Had that easel. What are some of the courses that you took here at Nassau that are needed for this career?
I remember taking Intro to Child Development. I also took Public Speaking, which was very helpful.
Everyone needs that.
Yep, that was very, very helpful. Philosophy and psychology and all of those really prepared me for the education world.
Yeah, it's interesting because I'm teaching one of the child development classes in higher ed, and it's so interesting to remember what I was doing when I was at Nassau taking that class.
Right. And I remember I took that class here, then I actually went over to Hofstra, and I didn't have to take it at Hofstra University because it transferred from here, and everyone else still had to take it, but I had completed that at Nassau, and it was a really great class. You learn all the fundamentals and the basics of child development. It was a good course.
Well, when you came here in 2012, exiting here, what was the campus like for you? I mean, you came from Charlotte,
right?
You then come to Nassau Community College. what was the campus like? What was the environment like?
It was awesome. Everyone was extremely friendly. You walk around and it's very homey feeling. You know your way. I mean, there's a map. It's pretty self-explanatory. All the professors are kind of everywhere, and you just know everything. I would know people in one building, and then I'd go over to the next building, and I knew them there too, just because all your classes are in all the other buildings, so you get to know everyone around you. I also liked the area that it was placed in. Surrounds everything. You know, everything is accessible. The delis, the library, everything's right around. So it was very convenient, and it was very homey feeling.
Yeah, I think that's really something to think about, too, when you're looking for an educational setting, that you have that comfort level.
Right. Very welcoming.
Yeah, and it's so familiar because you're close to home. A lot of people go away and they just really don't have a great experience. And then some do, but for the most part, unless they're really prepared, you know. So let's talk about that. What, out of high school, and you went to a whole nother state and a whole nother environment, what weren't you prepared for?
It was definitely like a culture shock too. I mean, even though it was North Carolina and we're still in the States, it was a big like a culture shock. They just do things differently. The weather's different. The expectations are just a little, the way we communicate is a little different. So, I mean, that was a little hard to get used to. But other than that, it was lovely. I just like being home. I'm a very big homebody. I'm an only child, too, so I like being home, and it's nice to just be around my friends and my family.
That's true. You get to stay home.
Yeah.
And who were some of your favorite professors here? I know we were talking about that earlier, and we were trying to remember names and faces.
I know, I'm so horrible with names.
Well, we did remember one, Professor Wise, and he keeps coming up.
Yes, I know. I'm so bad with names. I honestly don't remember a lot of my professors' names. If I saw their faces, I definitely would be able to recognize them. But I mean, I'm lucky. I know.
So, what about
students.
Professors that you remembered in general? What about the Nassau Community College professors that you would tell people about?
Right. I mean, they're all awesome. They're so friendly and fun, and they're really, really great. I loved the fact, too, that a lot of my professors were also professors at a lot of different colleges. So not only did they teach at Nassau, they also taught at other colleges on the island. So it really made you feel like, you know, you were getting that whole educational experience. They really put you first. They treat you the way you should be treated in a class. A lot of them got us up and moving and discussing and communicating and presenting. They were really great. I really enjoyed.
We do have some wonderful professors here. Well, you are listening to Line Tales on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. I'm Aurora Workman, along with Dr. Lynnda Nadien, and our guest today is Desiree Pennica, class of 2012, a first-grade teacher at an elementary school in Uniondale, New York, and a proud member of the Alumni Association of Nassau Community College. So let's talk about the first grade teacher. I mean, I was a teacher in high school, so my secondary experiences are so different than elementary school teachers. So you're a first grade teacher. How long have you been teaching?
This is the middle of my third year.
Ooh, congratulations.
Thank you. I know, I'm very lucky and grateful.
So that first day, you're approaching the school, and, you know, it's your first day as a teacher, not just the students who had their first day.
I know, right?
How did that feel?
Overwhelming. And, I mean, like, the gratitude that you feel is like it's like unreal. Like, am I really doing this right now? Like, this is like a lifelong goal that you're actually accomplishing. And like, now it's your classroom and it's your students and it's your school and your staff. And, I mean, it's an amazing feeling. It really is. I'm sure, like, I was 100% nervous. I mean, who isn't nervous? And then when those kids first walk in, you're like, oh, what do I do now?
You know, you're responsible for them, and they're looking at you.
Yes, even with all the preparation, even when you first walk in there, it's still like, oh my goodness, now, like, they're mine. They're in my hands. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, everything that I've done had prepared me. So, like, naturally, I just got right in the flow, and, I mean, I love it ever since. It's amazing.
Did you get to visit the school prior to your first day?
Yes.
And look at your classroom?
Yes, I set it all up. I met with Dr. Nadien, and we walked in, and we looked at the room. It was originally a computer room, so I was in there, and I got to set it all up the way that it would be best for me and my kids.
You know, that's the best feeling when you walk in. I mean, I walked into a high school, and it's when they sat there and they came in there, and you have to never let them see you sweat. You can't,
even in the first grade. Don't let them see you sweating, Miss Pennica,
because they know panic.
I know, being face on the second you walk in that door.
So, as a first grade teacher, unlike myself, who was an English teacher, and that's all I had to teach, what are the different subjects first graders work on?
I mean, we do all subjects. We do science, social studies, ELA. We do everything. It depends if there's something going on within the world. We'll talk about that. If we are in our reading curriculum and we're talking about sea animals, we'll talk about sea animals. We pretty much learn about everything. So we're very diverse.
And that's what I like about elementary school teachers, because, you have to do more than we did. But, today, what kind of reading and language arts activities and skills do first graders work on daily?
Again, we work on pretty much everything. I mean, we do fluency, comprehension, vocabulary, reading strategies. We do spelling. Phonics is a big thing to focus on. We do everything. We read, and it's also listening comprehension. That's a big thing too. Even when it comes to watching a movie, you have to be able to comprehend that. That's also ELA, being able to read and learn and listen and write. And especially first graders, they're just beginning to learn. So they need all of that foundation and the fundamental skills of reading. The sounds, the letters, everything to help them build their reading.
Well, after pre-K and kindergarten, you were their first milestone of success.
I know. And that they start to really read and really be able to spell, and you could see the confidence really building within them. They're becoming their own little learners.
There's such an intensity of the first graders.
I know.
It's almost like a college freshman. It's that level of intensity, because it's an important grade.
It is.
And it's really, we always talk about, once the skills are established, that we don't want to confuse the skills. We want to make sure that they can flourish in what you're presenting to them. And it really is a challenge. And, our learners are very diverse in terms of what they know and what they can bring to the table every day in terms of guided reading and all of these activities that you're doing. And it's just amazing to see when they actually crack the code, is what we call it in reading, that they understand, wow, this is what a good reader does.
Right.
And years ago, I was a student at Smith Street School. and I loved my first grade teacher. Her name was Mrs. Smothers. And, I think she initially got
related to the Smothers brothers.
But she later on got married. So by the time my youngest brother went, she was Mrs. Hayes. And I'm like, who's this teacher? So it's amazing that, I can sit there and I go to the school and sit there and see. I'm like, oh my God, I never knew this class was so small.
I know. But the smaller, we really get to focus individually on every student. We do a lot of fun things. We sing songs and put on plays, but it's all ELA based. So
let me tell you, when you open your classroom door every morning, fill in the blank. What would you say?
Oh my God. Just joy. Every day I walk in, it's just like a new day, a new start. It's still amazes me every day I walk into that classroom that it's mine and these are my students, and it's just an overwhelming feeling. It really is. And it's like we mentioned before, game face on. When you walk in that door, you're ready to, change the lives of these children and really be there for them.
The manner in which, teachers are being evaluated on, and, some of it can be very harsh in terms of, keeping the dignity of the profession. And it's important to keep in mind that teachers are coming in every day with that positive feeling that you can really make the changes and make the difference, and you are an incredible role model for little students that are coming in.
Right.
And they look to you for that.
Right. It's a great feeling.
You were listening to Lion Tales. Today's guest is a first grade teacher at Smith Street School in Uniondale, New York, and a member of the Alumni Association of Nassau Community College, Desiree Pennica. My name is Lynnda Nadien, along with Aurora Workman, on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your basement. There's a pair of overalls that overall you're not so into anymore. A perfectly good laptop that hasn't sat in your lap in months. And even more stuff, but still no jobs? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed, and they're the stuff inside your stuff.